Everyone, Magic Flying Potato here. Hope you're doing well. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick tutorial on making a simple bounce tower just like this. I'll show you two different versions. This is the neater looking version, and then you just have the pretty much standard skeletal version where it is not all boxed in. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bounce tower up leading to this area right here. And I did do a little bit of pre-planning so I can build the boxed in tower without hitting these rocks. So what I did is I just placed two platforms down. Key thing is when you do build a bounce tower, you want to keep the bounce web as level as possible. This way you launch straight up instead of off at an angle. I usually put down two scaffoldings. One will hold the bounce web and one is where you will walk up to the tower to bounce up. So I'm going to go ahead and put two floors down. Now, bounce towers or bounce web elevators, depending on how you want to call it, doing some testing, they can be made out of any of the wall pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and put two weed stem floors down, keeping them in the same direction, just for aesthetics purposes. All right, so once I put this floor in, I am going to put three more pieces down, and you will see why in a second. I'm going to go ahead and put half floors around this floor that the bounce web is actually going to sit on. And I'm just going to kind of frame this back one out with these half pieces. And I'll explain why I did that. And I'm going to go ahead and just put the blueprints down to show you what a very simple one will look like. So if you take a wall piece, any wall piece you want, make sure those arrows, if you do have a wall with an arrow, make sure they're all facing in the same direction. And so you see there are three levels. First level is going to be a bounce web going into the wall. Then you have the second level, third level, and on top of this you're going to build another floor, and on top of that floor is going to be a bounce web, and then repeat as high as you want to go. And there is something to, I'm going to show you a tip at the end that I found. Getting to the top, if it is like an even amount, or maybe not, maybe it's higher, I'm going to show you a tip at the end. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build this wall, and I'm not going to put the bounce web down right now, but I'm just going to show you how the bounce web should go. So if you look at the bounce web, you want to make sure the arrows faces straight up, and right to the one side, if you look right to the left side of that is my left, there is a flat piece. That flat piece you want to stick into the wall, but don't stick it through the wall. So look at it. If one of the poles go into the wall, that will be good enough for the bounce web to work. If you push it through too far, the piece is going to stick out, and if you go higher up and do that, you will get caught on that piece, and it will either not work or it will throw you off away from the tower. So make sure when you put that down, put it down just inside the wall, just like that. So that's the way we're gonna do it. So again, if you were just building a simple basic bounce tower, this is all you would do is this, and then up here on this you would build another floor, a wall, and then place the bounce webs just like this. But I want the tower to look a little bit better than what it is right now, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to wall the whole area around where the web will be at to close it off just like this. This is more aesthetically pleasing. There is really no other purpose for doing it this way. And it requires a little bit different technique when you do build it. So now that I have this portion built, I'm going to go ahead and jump up on the wall and then place the web down inside this section right here. Same concept, turn the web so the flat is facing the area that you're going to walk up to, where you're going to launch up the elevator. Place one of the poles slightly or halfway into the wall just like that, and go ahead and click down and build it. Now, one of the issues here is you can't technically put it together while it's like this. So what I found is if you just kind of jump up and down and kind of build it as you're jumping, just like that, then you'll be able to put the bounce web in. So right now, as you can see, you can't really see the bounce web. There is a piece of it right there. That's the portion that is half hitting in the wall. So if you walk up to it, you'll see that you will get launched up in the air. So now this is where it gets a little bit more problematic building in a normal or hardcore game, because you have to carry the pieces with you in order to build the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start building the level up until we get up to the third level, and then I'll explain what to do once you hit there. Okay, so once we get to this level, I'm going to go ahead and put a floor in, and it's going to be a grass floor this time. So I'm going to go ahead and hit build, come over to grass floors. Now, for putting a grass floor in an elevator like this, I like to try to keep the grass pieces going left and right instead of this way to just avoid any pieces sticking through. This will stay flush with the wall right here. Go ahead and click that in, and we'll go ahead and build it. All right, so once the floor is down, we're going to go ahead and start building up the floor walls again. All right, so as we're looking at the bounce web tower, I left that one wall right there not done as of yet, and I will explain why I did it as we jump up and build that wall. We're going to jump up, build the wall. So now if you look, if I put this wall in first, we'll go back down. If I put this wall in first, I would not have been able to make the bounce jump up on top of that wall piece. See, as you see, I land right here. That's why I didn't put this wall in. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get up on this wall, one of the walls. And now I'm going to go ahead and put this wall right here in. And as we did at the bottom level, we are going to go ahead and place another bounce web inside this area right here. Once it's in, same technique as building this. Just kind of bounce up and down and place items down as you're jumping. Now that portion is made. So right here, this section is going to be a little bit different because I am getting up to the end point of where I need to be. So as I go up, I'm going to see if I go up 3 more pieces. As you see right there, I will be up at the level I need to be. So this section is going to be where I give you a little extra tip on how to get up to the very top of this one. Okay, so at this point, as you can see, I'm only 2 levels up. This is the 3rd level. And as I stated before, if you're going to, depending on how high you're going to build your bounce tower, they are built in sections of 3. But this one I'm going to build a bit differently. And this is why. So if I built this wall right here, this is the 3rd section up. This right here below me is the 2nd section. So if I built another section right here with a web, I may not make it up to where I need to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a floor down right here, and I'll show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing this in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put this floor down. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to bounce up and just show you what's going on. So if I bounce up, so as you can see, I bounce and I land right here. So this is the 3rd section. If I was going to build another 3 sections, I would just have built up all the way and put a floor here. But I don't want to jump that high. I just want to go up one more level from this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab some resources, build a wall, and build a web right here. Now I am going to put a bounce web here, but I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to put a small half platform inside here halfway up, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to place the bounce web in here, making sure that the flat piece is up against the wall that we are using as the elevator portion. Put the pole partially into the wall like that, and go ahead and click on it. Go back to 3rd person view. Now this is where I'm going to use this piece right here. I'm going to build a half platform, half floor right here, halfway up this wall. I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to build this. Now I'm going to go ahead and build this bounce web. And then with this one, being that I don't want to launch all the way up in the air, I'm going to set this one to customize. And I'm going to do half the strength of the bounce. And then leave it at that. Now this floor right here can stay here. Gonna go back to third person view. So right here, I'm going to finish off the last 4 walls and then put a floor on top. Okay, so now I'm finished with my tower. I put the 2 landing floors up here so I can land here and walk off. So I'm going to go ahead and go down. All right, so I'm finished with the tower. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you why I did that last section the way I did. So with that half bounce, the 50% web up there, we'll go ahead and show you. That did not work. All right, so I did make a quick mistake. I shouldn't have put that floor on because this should have been only 50% if I wanted the floor to be right here. So I'm going to have to increase this this bounce web right here just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and do 75%. And this should get me up to where I need to be on this level right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and go back down and show you what that adjustment was for. So as you saw before, I wasn't making it to the top of the tower. With this one, just making it to the top. I could have increased it some more so I could add it more bounce on here, but I did not. Hopefully this video helps you out with building a bounce web elevator or bounce tower or whatever you want to call them. In the next video, I'm going to build a different style of elevator, and it's going to go over in my castle that is way over there. I do have some engineering issues that I have to work through, but I will go ahead and show you how that one is built, and then I'll show you what's going on with that castle. That's in the next video, and if you like this style of content, go ahead and subscribe. That would be great. This way you don't miss the next videos that I put out. And as always, you guys have a great time out there exploring your backyards. Have fun with the journey, and I am Magic Flying Potato, and I am out.